morning, Insurance Syndicate members. Hope everybody is having a great start to your morning. We're going to give just a couple minutes so we can let some people get in here. If you don't know me, I'm sure you do. My name is Joe Kampert. I'm actually here today. This is actually one of our first Winning on Wednesday calls that I haven't done with my fearless co-host, Mr. Tony Merwin. Tony is actually flying to Puerto Rico right now for the Power Players event with Cody Askins. So hope he has an amazing time there. I'm sure he will. Sure the weather's going to look a little bit different over there too, right? So we'll give just a couple more minutes here, or not even a couple minutes, probably just one more minute before we kick off. But everybody who's with us now, real quick, because I want this to be, oh, there's Mr. Merwin right there sitting on the plane. Come on now. If you guys can, please let StreamYard view your comments so that I know who's commenting. I've got some bullet points that I'm going to go through and kind of my strategies on Facebook groups and everything like that. But I also want this to be very interactive, right? So I'm going to go through kind of my points and how I'm doing things, but I also want it to be applied to what you're trying to do, right? So please let StreamYard, it's like the first comment in the video. It's also in the description of the video. Let StreamYard see that. And then if I can, like literally I'll hop in and really try and troubleshoot, kind of give you any type of tidbits of education. Here's what I would do in that situation for specific to what you're doing, okay? All right, so I think we're about good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off. Again, my name is Joe Kampert. Today's Winning on Wednesday is gonna be all about organic Facebook, really group strategies, okay? So I guess let's just start there, right? So you've got your group strategies, right? You've got your personal page strategies, which I think really kind of go hand in hand. I do not have enough time to go over everything we need to be doing on our personal page to really kind of complement all of what we're doing in the groups. So again, today is going to be specific to groups, right? And really driving leads, driving relationships. And that's the first part here, guys. If we're going to be doing this, and I know you guys have heard me say this, Facebook needs to be used as a business tool, okay? And I think a lot of people will use social media. And again, if you're going to use it for this, then hey, all the power to you, but don't be complaining when you don't have leads or you're not driving additional revenue to the agency, right? But it needs to be used as a business tool. If you were to go into my Facebook and you look at my feed or my timeline, it has nothing to do, maybe every once in a while, if they're like a family friend, a family member or something like that, I'll see a picture of their new baby, right? Or them being married. But for the most part, I would say 75% of my timeline is all things that I've trained my algorithm to put in front of me. Okay, I want insurance groups. I want my trucking groups. I want my new to Austin group where I can be the relocation expert, like all these different types of things that, again, when we're really utilizing Facebook as a business tool, we're going to train. And again, I can't even talk about the algorithm either. We'll do a whole nother call for that, for algorithm and training that on your personal page. But I want it to be in front of me so that I'm not going down the freaking rabbit hole. And I know I know some of y'all here who are watching this call, you guys have done that, right? To where somehow I'm now on freaking YouTube or I'm on TikTok, or maybe I'm creating a TikTok now because you want to be a part of the trends, whatever it is. Again, if we're utilizing Facebook as a business tool, we've got to be able to keep that content really in front of us, okay? So make sure we're using it as a business tool. If you're just spending your entire day on Facebook, it's not driving you additional revenue, whatever it is, you need to not be using it. I wouldn't be on it, right? You can be on it after hours, but for me, people ask, how do you have so much time to comment? How do you have so much time to be in 170 plus freaking Facebook groups? It's like, well, it's because Facebook's like my second CRM. And when I say a second CRM, it's because really it is a part of my business, right? So it never comes down. It always sits right next. Here's my CRM, and then here's freaking Facebook. To the point of sometimes I'm spending more time in Facebook trying to get that information into my CRM, obviously to work the leads and then to close them and ultimately drive more revenue to the agency. Okay, so utilizing it as a business tool. Now we're going to shift to groups, and this is going to be how to work groups. I call it group mining. Think of it like chipping away at the group, right? Again, mining, but then we're also on the back end of the call, we're going to talk about how if you think you've got an idea or something like that, and really, guys, if you have any Q&A, put it in the comments about how to actually create a Facebook group as well. I'm going to share my screen, show you some tools that I use to be able to build some of the content, everything that I'm putting out there. Okay, so first things first. there is literally a group for everything. And I'm sure some of y'all, if you guys have ever heard me train on this, I've said that before, but it was like one of the biggest Facebook groups of all time was the guy who was going to storm Area 51, right? Like the guy went viral freaking overnight. And I'm telling you, if there's a group for people who are trying to storm Area 51, I mean, I'm talking like freaking millions of people in this freaking Facebook group. Okay, so there is, if you're sitting here, I just don't know what group to join. I promise you, even if you literally just hit groups and just go start looking through Facebook groups, there is something out there that is either interesting to you or, again, can be something of a group that's potential clients, right? Things like that. So there is a Facebook group for everything. Now it's about really getting into the right ones to get in front of the right people, right? And again, why? To drive more revenue to the agency. Okay, so we're utilizing it as a business tool. There is a group for everything. We're going out there, we're trying to find the right groups, right? Now, when you're going to find the right groups, this is a really important part, not only for working the groups, but also once we get to the back end of this call, when we're talking about creating a group, it needs to be congruent. And I always, Coach Burt gave me that one when we were at the lodge a few months back. It needs to be congruent with your business model, right? So obviously for me, you're going to hear me reference a lot of trucking groups because I'm in trucking insurance, right? So if you don't sell trucking insurance or you don't know how to, I probably wouldn't go join a bunch of freaking trucking groups, right? Or if you're in the life and health space, I wouldn't go join a bunch of like car dealership groups, and maybe you could, I don't know, maybe there's some tweaks we could make in that for that to work for you guys. But again, it needs to be congruent with your business model. I'm in all the trucking groups because I have access to a multitude of trucking carriers in order to find them the best price coverage combo for their operation. Blah, 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 right? So make sure it's congruent with your business model. My new to Austin, this is a good one. And this is because you also have to think about your Sandra Gebhardt puts it best, your ideal client avatar. Who do you resonate with the most? Who is buying most of the policies from you, right? Like to the point of, for me, I've even narrowed it down to age group, excuse me. I do better with younger people. I'm 27, I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm getting after it. Not to say that I don't resonate with the older crowd, I would say, and I apologize if you're about to fall outside of this age range. I'm not calling you old, right? It's just I've really kind of ironed out, who do I work best with? Who resonates the best with me? Who am I going to get in front of on Facebook, right? And so it needs to be congruent with your business model. This new to Austin group I'm in, it's new to Austin, 20s and 30s, and it's everybody that's moving to Austin, right? And this group has probably, I would say, over 30,000 members now. Why is that good for me, right? Well, it's because I'm in freaking Austin, Texas. So not only am I local, but guess what they need when they're moving, right? Anybody who ever has moved, you know what's next. You've got to switch over your car insurance. You got to get renter's insurance. I'm buying a house. That's why I'm moving to Austin. Oh, turns out I have a bunch of rental properties as well, right? So that, again, that group is really congruent with not only my business model. I'm a property and casualty heavy agent, right? But it's also congruent with my client, my ideal client avatar, the person I want to work with, the person I want to build my book with. And that's also something, this is a little bit more P&C specific, but for P&C agents that are watching this, the reason I go after a younger crowd too is because I'm trying to have a 100-year agency, right? I want somebody who's going to grow the book with me as they grow, right? Like when I'm their first ever freaking car insurance agent, right? Oh, and then turns out I'm their first agent when they buy their first house. And then, they have their first kid, right? And so we're selling life insurance now, or whatever it is. Okay, that's why I'm going after that. But that is important for all of you to iron out so that hey, look, these are the people I need to be spending as much time in front of as possible, and it's who is actually driving the most revenue to your agency. Let's see here. Ryan, I am thinking about creating a group for dads in my area. Yep, Luis has done a great job. I love his branding. Luis, your branding is on point. My area is different than San Antonio, but I want to make sure that I can create a great culture so it is of value to those in the group. I know this wouldn't create tons of revenue. I'm looking for other ideas for groups to create. Any ideas? So actually, it's actually a really good group. I love what Luis has been able to do with his, and I think, and this is also something you got to keep in mind here. These strategies and everything that I'm going over, guys, is we have to be doing them consistently. We have to be doing them like every single day type of thing. So maybe the revenue doesn't start right off the bat, right? But in my opinion, you're connecting with, again, dads. Ryan, you're a father, right? Family is extremely important to you. That to me is a good group for you to either create or to become a part of or to become maybe a moderator in, right? People who are active, but also, they're already showing interest in their family. And I think that's something that resonates with you. You automatically have common ground with a lot of members in that group. Now we would really need to kind of get into the strategy of, okay, how do I actually change those relationships? Or we're resonating with each other, we're vibing with each other. Oh, turns out my kid freaking played baseball there too. Oh, whoa, small world, right? Whatever it is. Now, what can we do to provide value to the group? And then also, but we want to try and drive revenue, right? So I think first off, and then we'll kind of shift, but I wanted to keep talking to you on this, Ryan. Thank you for that question. Just start with just commenting in there, right? Like I wouldn't join the group or create the group in order to instantly try and get leads. You want to build the relationship. You want to build what I call your fan club, people who just like, man, I really like what Ryan's putting out there. So I would start with really kind of content that, or maybe even before you create your own group, go join another dad's group. Get some kind of insight of how they're working the group, talk to Luis, right? See what all they're doing, community events. If they're doing raffles or giveaways, that's a great way to really work an existing group, but also still, provide value to them is like, hey, look, and we used to do like $100 gift cards to a local restaurant, something like that. So we can strategize a little bit more on that, Ryan, but I think, again, I would probably start in another group, see kind of what they're doing, get the vibe, and then go from there. Okay. Hope that helps just a smidge. And we can definitely talk a little bit more offline if you need to as well. Real quick here, and then we'll hit our next point. I'm a part of a crane operators group. It's a good pipeline building tool. You're right that it might not pay off right away, but you can at least build relationships. And exactly. Yep. I love that. Kyle, keep crushing, bro. Saw your video yesterday. Love seeing everything that you're doing, man. Keep shooting the videos for sure. Okay. All right. So we're using Facebook as a business tool. There is a group for everything, right? You just got to find the right group. And you got to find the group that's congruent with your business model. Don't go join a bunch of groups that have nothing to do with your business model, right? And then, so it's like one of the most simple things, but I swear it's how I get into all of my groups. Be honest when you join the groups. I can't tell you how many people ask me, especially after I do like trainings like this, where I'm going through and kind of doing an audit of their social media. What do I say? Like when they go to join the group, right? And everybody's got like the little membership questions. And like for me, again, and this is what I'm doing in my trucking groups, but this can definitely apply to groups that you're trying to get in as well, where you've seen the potential to drive more revenue to the agency. I'm just honest. I straight up tell them, hey, are you a trucker? And I said, no, I'm not. Why are you wanting to join the group? Well, it's like, because I'm a trucking insurance specialist. I'm not here to solicit the members, and I will never post stuff out there without permission. I just want to try and provide as much value and education to an underserved market and to the drivers to help them get their business up off the ground, whatever. Be honest about your intentions. So many people go in there and, yes, I'm a truck driver, yes. And then it's like, well, if I'm being viewed as a truck driver and I don't know freaking half the talk of the land, right, when it comes to truckers, like, or, this is going on with my truck, this, and this. And it's like, and I've never driven a truck, how am I supposed to now provide value and education, right? And so that's kind of, again, be honest when you're joining the groups. And that leads me right into my next point. Only comment or provide some type of insight or something when you can provide value and education. If you have nothing to add, don't comment, right? I see so many people where it'll be totally, they'll be asking a question about who do I call for this? And then I just see an agent pop in there and they're like, hey, but I can help you with your insurance. And it's like, they weren't even asking about insurance. And you haven't even given them a reason as to why they should want to work with you, right? And I think where I've really won in groups is when I'm going to comment, I'm only commenting when I know like I'm versed and I can say something, right? And I can provide that value and education, but I don't ever solicit. I always just say, hey, this, and this, right? And I'll give them, hey, you need to go set up your DOT. It's going to take this amount of days for you to go active once the insurance is going. Oh, you're working with Amazon. This is what you're going to need as far as insurance requirements, whatever they might be asking, even if it's outside of insurance. If I can provide insight on it, then I'm going to. Now, what happens when you start to provide so much value in education, instead of having to like DM them and solicit the crap out of the members, which eventually will probably get you blocked, right? I think we've all seen that. If you spam a group, right, which to me is solicitation without value and education, you're gonna get the boot, right? And so for me, I've always just gone in there and commented where I could, and then people start to take notice, right? Then it's like people message, hey, thank you so much for your comment. They're sliding into my DMs, right? And so that's kind of the goal, right? So we're being honest when we're joining. It's congruent with our business model, and then I'm only providing value and education in the comments where I can. And so here's a little gold nugget for you guys. So it's funny. I've got a couple new employees, a couple new staff. So we're ramping back up my group strategies. We had to kind of slow it down just a smidge because I was light on people and I didn't want to tarnish my name in the group, right? Because I was dropping the ball on this, and this. So we kind of had to slow it down. We're ramping back up. I have people that are calling me from a post that I put out there 3 to 4 months ago. Now it's funny. They didn't want to message me because of how old the post was. Guys, your posts are always staying and living in that group unless it gets deleted or something like that. So here's the thing. Anytime I'm ever commenting about insurance, being in insurance, I see this every day. Being in insurance, or man, all the time in insurance, I see this all the time. I'm an agent. Trust me, man, I'm right there with you. Oh, you hate hold times? Being in insurance, hey, I'm right there with you, man. You ain't alone. So I'm using, and that's now that I'm an admin and a moderator in these groups, they have basically keyword triggers, right? So anytime, and we have it set for my trucking group, it's insurance. So anytime somebody types insurance, we get a trigger, right? It's like, oop, keyword alert. And so I can go and look, oh, it's about insurance. So I can then instantly go and grab that business if they're already asking for it, right? But for me, the big thing was once you start adding all that value and education, the admins will start to take notice too, right? And it lives in that group. So if people are using the search feature, maybe say the admin, and in my case, he used the search feature within the group, insurance, because he needed some new insurance. Well, it turns out because I always type being in insurance, or I see this all the time in insurance, guess what happens when he types that word insurance, guess whose name pops up? I do. And I'm never going away, right? To the point of where literally his name is Babatunde. I literally remember everything about him. And the guy called me and he goes, dude, I wanted to work with you. I just didn't want to message you because of how old the post was, but I love everything that you're doing in the group, right? So again, your content is staying in there. So keep that in mind when you're using your keywords, right? Because that will trigger in groups where if people are using the search feature, which I wish they would use it more, if it's insurance is associated with your name, you're going to pop up more than anybody else, right? Okay, so now we're shifting back. So we're providing value and education. Like I said, Prince reached out to me. He needed insurance. Well, he's the founder and the admin of a 25,000 plus trucking group at the time. We're at like 54,000, 55,000 now. So he reached out and then I'm like, okay, here's my opportunity. And so here's the other thing, guys. If we're going to do this, like you got to make sure you come through, like make sure you actually do what you say you're going to do, to the point of where Prince needed trucking insurance in Minnesota. I wasn't in Minnesota yet, but I said, hey, don't worry about it, dude. I'm going to go get my non-resident and I'm going to get you taken care of. Was able to get him taken care of. Well, guess what? Now I just won the trust, right? And it turns out he's from Nairobi, Kenya, which is where my church, we used to do like missions trips over there when I was a kid. So I knew where like he was from. And I mean, crazy small world, right? But instantly connected. But then I came through, right? And was able to really provide some value, show him, hey, look, this is why, I'm trying to help people and I'm good at my job and this, and this. Well, then he puts a post out there or makes a comment. Somebody asked, hey, insurance. And this was before I was a moderator or an admin within the group. So I'm still I don't want to get booted, right? It's an extremely active group, but I'm getting some business, right? I'm helping some clients. Well, Prince tags me, and of course it was at like 9:00. Prince tagged, hey, you need to talk with Joe. I worked with him. He's like an amazing trucking insurance specialist, blah, blah, blah. Well, as soon as the admin, right? So again, now we're creating that relationship with the admin. This is when joining the group. We're not to creating groups yet. But when I have that relationship with the admin, guess who everybody else trusts? The admin. And we all know that. If we see like the admin tag come through when people are posting or commenting, like stay out of Minnesota. I'm just now reading that. I only did it for Prince, I promise. But I got it with the admin. Well, everybody, if Prince is saying to work with this guy, then we should work with this guy, right? He's the guy who created the group in the first place. So it was like 9:00. I probably got like 10 to 15 trucking requests, like literally overnight, like just going. And that was literally just from one comment, guys. Well, about another 3 months go on. Prince puts a post out there and reaches out to me and said, hey, would you like to become basically an admin within the group and basically be the insurance trucking specialist? We're getting up to 12 insurance requests a day in the group. We would love to basically be able to lean on you to be able to assist all of our members. And of course, I'm like, yes. Well, of course, he does it again at like 9 o'clock where the admin puts a post and pins it to the top of the group. And I'm still there. The first thing that people see when they join that group is me, right? And I'm pinned to the top and it's insurance. And it says commercial trucking insurance. And so once Prince did that, then it was game over. You're talking, within a couple months, I was quoting millions of dollars of trucking insurance premiums. And again, now you guys are hearing me talk a lot about trucking. Here are the strategies behind what I'm saying though, right? Like you can go in and befriend an admin. It doesn't just have to be a trucking group. Like again, apply this to your business model and it works across the board. Just because I'm using all my examples of what I personally do, I promise you it can extend, right? So now I'm literally, because I led with honesty, I have a business model that's congruent to be able to back up what I'm saying, right? I'm giving value and education. Now I'm the admin in a trucking group that I get a trigger every single time somebody types insurance in the freaking group, and it's 54,000 members strong, right? So again, it takes time, but that's the beautiful thing about group strategies is all it does is take time, and if you're doing the right things, and hopefully we all are, right, then you get to be put into that spot where, other insurance agents, you can't even join the group because I'm approving the member request, right? So then now I've like totally taken over this entire group where I am, sometimes people get through, but for the most part, I am the only person that does insurance in that group of 54,000 freaking truckers, okay? So now we've gained the trust of the moderator and the admin. We are actually just talking with one of my new guys, Austin, on this. He had basically a lady I had talked with her 6 months ago. They ended up not buying the truck. She called back. Turns out we came in cheaper than the original quote. Well, now her name is Tammy, and she was like, thrilled. She loves us, like bought on the spot type thing. Well, now, but she's in the groups, and that's where I had initially had that conversation with her and created the relationship was through a Facebook group. And I'm like, Austin, okay, now you have basically what I call the fan club, right? You have basically your clients that are in the groups. So instead of me having to go in there and just comment, like I'm trying to stay on top of it, and this is in maybe a group I'm not an admin in, you're just a member and you're trying to drive business. Well, now you've got your clients that are in that group, right, that will tag you as well. So if somebody says insurance and it's like in this hot shot, I'm sure a lot of you guys who are in trucking, there's this hot shot group that's growing like, it's over 100,000 members. It's grown like 60, 70,000 members within like 4 months. It's wild. But a lot of people are tagging in, hey, who do you use for insurance? Who do you use for insurance? Well, say I'm up against maybe 10 other insurance agents because it's a public group or whatever. If I have my clients that love me, also in that group, also tagging me, and they're a driver, guess who that driver who's looking for insurance is going to go with? Not a bunch of insurance agents going, me, I can do it, I can help. It's going to be, hey, Joe helped me. I have testimony and I can give you a review and tell you everything about him. Now I have, again, it's what's called the fan club, people who are supporting you. And so then the more people you have tagging you, the better, right? And so then once you have the fan club, and again, this is P&C specific. I'm not sure how it necessarily works on the life and health side as far as like rules and stuff like that. But for us, we can do referral rewards. So we told Tammy, hey, everybody that you send us or that you help us basically get in front of and tag, we'll send you a gas card. So we're able to send her money for gas. Well, then what do you know? Not only did we save her money, not only does she love us and the experience was great, and she's shouting us out in front of other people, now the more people she helps get us in front of, helps pay for her fuel. And we all know how freaking expensive fuel is, right? That was a gold nugget for anybody that's in trucking, just saying. Like, they need the gas money right now. Like, it's crazy expensive on what it takes to fill up their rigs and stuff like that, okay? So now we've just built a really locked in relationship all from a Facebook group, okay? And again, it's just leading with the right things, doing the right things, and just not dropping the ball, okay? Now, you gain the fan club, okay? So now once you have the fan club, here's where we're going to start shifting into how to create an actual group, right? And so I'm actually getting ready to launch it. It's going to be a trucking syndicate group, okay? So because I have basically all of the following over in this other group, I'm now going to create a group. And now the feature doesn't unlock as you create a group. It's like once you get over 1,000 members and you're growing at a certain rate, Facebook will actually unlock a specific feature where it's not just invite friends. You can actually invite people to your group from groups that you have in common with, right? So another reason why you don't want to get booted and why you want to be honest, because now that I'm here, now I can create the trucking syndicate group, right? And then now I'm going to hit this little feature and it goes to invite. And then you can click another button and you'll see it. It goes right up at the top. And it says groups you have in common, right? So then I can go in and literally type in my trucking group that I'm an admin in. And then I can go in and again, the mining, I'm chipping away, like I'm going in and I'm mining for gold in there. I can now draw that entire group, that entire audience to my own group. So I've got like full control, right? You can do this whether you're an admin or not, right? It just so happens I am in that other group, but even if you're just a member, you can then go and basically, it's look at it how you want. It's basically stealing members, right? But you want that for you. That's how you really control it. That's how you drive the additional revenue, is because now it's in my group, right? And I don't have to worry about getting booted. I can put whatever content I want out there. Obviously, still needs to be value driven, everything like that. But again, that's the whole point of really staying consistent. And that's my last bullet point. I'll share you guys, I'll share my screen with you guys on how I build out content and stuff like that. But you got to be consistent. Okay, Ryan, I know we were just talking about this earlier. It's not going to happen overnight. A lot of these strategies and stuff that I'm talking about, like even for that trucking Facebook group, for me, you're talking almost a year of really working that group, right? Like, I'm getting my incidental leads out of it, right? It's still making me money, but not near what it is today, where it's like I'll wake up and I've got however many quotes submitted already. Okay, so be consistent. If somebody doesn't like the post or somebody, that like, don't get all up in your feelings and stop doing it. You've got to be consistent. And as long as you're doing it, again, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, with value and education, right? You will win in the group strategies. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay. I want to show you guys here my screen, because I think also, let's see here. Another important part of this is how you're also, appearing to people. So we're not going to get in too much we're not going to get too much into the personal page. And there is stuff with that, guys. Like, if people want to do business with you and you seem like this over in the groups, and then it's like they go to your personal page or your profile, and it's just like political shit or whatever it is, right? It's like, oh my, this person is freaking loco, man. Like, again, if we're using it as a business tool, we know that people are watching. So we need to be careful what we're putting out there on our personal page. Hey, if I'm trying to really, resonate with people, I've got to show them that, hey, just because I'm in insurance doesn't mean I'm not human. I have bills, I have kids, those types of things, right? So just be wary of that. We're not going to get too deep into that, but just don't basically look like a crazy person on your personal page, okay? So here, I'm going to share my screen. And a lot of you guys know what this is. I think it should share. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of Canva. Let's make sure that comes through. Oh, that's looking like super glitchy. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is, guys, it's a free tool. Okay. So I know there's a lot of other stuff out there. If you're really trying to get I'm too much of a perfectionist to really have like Adobe Premiere and all that stuff, because I wouldn't ever get work done, because I would just be editing the shit out of everything. Canva is very simple and it's free. We have, now granted, we have the Canva like Pro, whatever, but they have the free version that, guys, you can totally utilize it for everything. And you can already see here, now granted, me and my brother have a shared Canva. So you can see he's building some stuff, his lacrosse team that he's coaching now, right? But here's where I pretty much build everything. Now here's the cool thing. Let's say even you're just trying to, we're shifting to creating a group, okay? I'm now creating my new trucking group. I'm trying to get in front of people, and I want a cover photo for my group, right? Like, literally, you can just hit social media, and then they're going to give you, and you can even go through, you can use this on Instagram, Facebook. They even have TikTok templates and stuff like that for being able to create content. And I know some of y'all are probably watching this and they're like, man, I'm not tech savvy or anything. Like, trust me, I'm pretty much right there with you. My creative juices are flowing in the morning, but that's about it. By the end of the day, like, I'm not good at creating content, so I get in early and I build it. Let's say I want to do a Facebook cover. Well, I'm just going to click here, and it's just going to give me the correct dimensions. So, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but and you've probably seen it even when you're posting on your personal page or anything like that. it doesn't fit like Facebook, right? So it either, you got to click it because it's so zoomed in on it, or it's like got the edges. It's not a super clean cut, right? It will give you these templates. Well, then say it's like I want to do, let's see if they've got any trucking templates out here. Okay, so here's a template. Like granted, this is like a food truck, but you can see here now I've got, and that I think that's the hardest part for me, is starting from scratch. Like I can like make the craziest edits and make some killer stuff, but like for me it was always, okay, what do I even use as the backdrop? What do I even use? And so I love, they've got all these templates out here that you can utilize, okay, to be able to build stuff out, whatever you want to do, okay? And it's not just for cover photos. We can go back here and just go to your social media here, right? And for me, again, I'm doing a lot of Facebook. I can just do a Facebook post right here. Okay, so then I'm going out here, and then I can use templates if I want to. Here's for you, recently used, so you guys can see, even like for Veterans Day, right? Like I was doing something for Veterans Day. You've got this here, and then it's got a video in the back, right? So it's helping kind of drive more engagement because it's more, it's moving and stuff, right? It's not just a stock static image. And then I can go in and edit this to like say, like Redwood Agency Group, whatever it is, right? And so I love the templates. It's super easy to use. I really encourage you guys to take a look. Again, it's called Canva, canva.com. And then as you're building, right? So for me, you got to repurpose your content. I don't know if you guys have seen, but every single cover photo for Syndicate is always the same. So I've just created basically your projects. I've just created folders, and you can see here for Agent Hangout. It's my networking group. Right, I've got all these templates basically built out. Now, here's the cool thing with, say like I've got an ATX Agent Hangout coming up, and I've got a new speaker, but I want to keep the same. All I got to do, make a copy. Literally, as soon as I make a copy, it's going to go right here. I still have the original in case I want to use that, in case I ever want to repurpose that content. Then I can pop in here. And then I've got my headshot of the new guest, whatever it is, and then I can just delete that, change the title, and then download, and then I'm good. I don't ever publish straight to Facebook from Canva. I always will just download and then post it myself so I can put some good verbiage and stuff with it. But again, Canva, free tool. It's got tons of templates in there, even for if you're trying to do video. Again, Facebook post, if you want to build a flyer, whatever it is. Right, and then once you have it, go put it into a folder, which is your projects you guys saw me get into here on the left. And I think really, Canva has helped big time, just because it's super easy, it's super fast, but it also helps me stick out a little bit more from the crowd. Okay. Yes. What is the pro? Yes, Canva.com, Canva.com. And there's a free version. I think the pro version is also super cheap. So if you guys end up, wanting to take a look at the pro version, it gives you some like additional templates, some additional like elements and stuff that you can add, as far as like maybe fonts or stuff like that. Okay, so definitely check it out. It's been a very powerful free tool for the most part, for me when I'm building stuff out. Okay, so let's see here, and I don't think I've got. That's pretty much everything. I wanted to open this up for Q&A. I know we've got some people here, and guys, if you're watching this after the fact, still feel free to drop your questions if you want to. And actually, I wanted to give a quick nugget. And so I was actually talking with Holden Kiefer is his name. And so for life and health people, really specific to Medicare people, right? I haven't really even touched on Medicare. He's like, we were really strategizing on how to like get in front of people. And we killed an amazing idea where he's doing Medicare for veterans, and like the only reason I saw it was because he was wearing a pin when we were on a video, and I'm like, bro, what is that? You served? Oh, dude, you love veterans. He knows all this stuff as far as like a veteran and like how that works with your Medicare and all that type stuff. So it's a perfect freaking fit for him. But also, you guys got to think, like if you're in Medicare, like you can still use Facebook to get in front of people for Medicare, but you're like, well, who's 65 and on Facebook? No, you're right. That's trending a little higher than the average age of a Facebook user, right? Or it's like maybe they're on there, but they just like a picture every now and then, or post like once every 6 months, so they're not really seeing anything. Excuse me, sorry. Here's what I would do. I would create a group for kids whose parents are turning 65, right? Or getting ready to turn 65, right? Because there's a lot of parents that are out there that have no clue, obviously, how to get going, how to sign up for Medicare, or what. It's just freaking confusing. Then, hey, guess whose plate it falls on when they can't figure it out? The kids, right? So then why don't you create a group for the kids who are going to be of a more ideal age to be on Facebook, right? So then you can get in front of the kids, and then the kids are like, dude, my parents have been struggling like freaking crazy. It's been a nightmare. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Can you please help them, right? So that is just an idea for me, or at least something that I had just kind of come up with off the top of my head. Who knows? Maybe I've never seen a group out there, right? And I think a lot of that is, well, I can't be on Facebook because I'm not going to be able to get in front of these people. Maybe it's you don't necessarily go one level deeper, right? Get in front of their children who can then connect you with them to be able to assist them on their med sub, whatever it is you guys do on that side. I've got the contracts. I have no idea what the hell I'm still doing on that side of things, right? But I think to me, that would be a good way to get in. Another really strong one, and this can go for life and health on PNC, is really just any type of your community groups. Ryan, you touched on it earlier, dad groups, right? Something where, and there's a lot of mom groups. Mom groups are popping. Really, the neighborhood groups, like we even in my HOA, there was a neighborhood group, right? So, well, what do you know? Guess those people see me taking my daughter on a walk or whatever. They see my dog. They see me going to work, having people over. Whatever. Well, they're my neighbors, so they're already exposed to me. And then, hey, if I can somehow, hey, who's using, or what's people using for homes in the neighborhood, or home insurance here in the neighborhood? Mine just skyrocketed. It's like, well, hey, I actually live down the street, and I'm an insurance broker, so I've got access to a multitude of care, blah, 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 blah. And so that would really work. Community groups are very active. And actually, I got one last bit for you guys, because this is what has been the game changer for when I'm working the groups. And I know some of us have talked about this. Have an intake form to collect all the information, right? Like there's no way, if I don't have a form for truckers or whatever, if it's my auto and home form, my condo, my trucking, my commercial insurance, whatever, I cannot be in 174 Facebook groups without basically my website is essentially what it is. We use what's called Gravity Forms. If you have a WordPress website, Gravity Forms is just a free plugin, and you just download it, and then basically you can just make custom fields on the information that you want to get, right? So for me, obviously, I built out a form that says, hey, we need this, we need your DOT. If you don't have a DOT, put this, vehicles, everything I need in order to quote it, right? And some people are like, well, dude, I'd rather just get on the phone with them and get them to say yes right then and there. Well, when you're in 170 plus Facebook groups, you don't have time to be hopping on the phone with every single one of them or responding to every single one of those messages. You need to have some type of standardized way to bring all that information in. Again, we use our website. It's just a landing page. And again, the form is Gravity Forms. Intake forms 100%. Yes. You're still just Facebook user. So I don't know who you are when I'm looking at the comments, but I agree with you. But that Gravity Form has changed everything to where the other thing too is it increases buyer intent. A lot of people, I think, really like, like it's going to take too long. When I'm like, if you're not that serious then, right? Like if you're not willing to take a couple minutes to fill out the form to give me everything I need in order to best protect you and your business or whatever it is, or your life or whatever, then I need you to fill out the form. And I'll kind of end on this last story, and then I can, if you guys have any Q&A, go ahead and drop it now as I'm kind of wrapping up, and then I can address that. Or if you want to bounce anything off me, we still have probably another 5-10 minutes that we can keep going, so I'm happy to do that. And shoot, now I can't even remember where I was going with it. I forgot, guys. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Anybody have any Q&A? Drop it in the comments below. If you guys got anything at all. I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to stick around here for just like maybe a couple more minutes. So if you guys have anything, I'm going to leave it open. Is the Gravity Forms through Facebook or your WordPress login? So it is through WordPress. So it's through the actual website. And I can actually, I could just show you that real quick too. And you guys feel free, if you want to, go through and fill out my forms if you would like. Also, if you need a website or if you like our website, you can hit up my brother, Sam Kampert. You guys actually have discounted websites here through the group via the preferred vendor list. But here's just our website, right? So what I'm talking about, though, is when they go to get a quote, right? And let's say here they want to get a trucking insurance quote. This basically is it has all this information here, okay? And so they're going to go through and they're going to tab through, and you can make it look super clean. They get a, hey, thank you, and a team member will be reaching out as soon as they put submit on there. But then I also wanted to show, I'll show you guys real quick on what it actually looks like when it comes through. Sweet, only 3 emails since I've been on here. And yes, I have a ton of folders. So here's what it actually looks like when it comes through, okay? So this company, they're like brand new, okay? And here's what the actual form looks like. Okay, so here's one that's just for commercial custom cabinets. We actually just knocked that out yesterday. Here's another one, right? So you're talking, I mean, look, I got all the drivers, I've got license numbers, I've got the vehicle number, I've got everything I need in order to quote it, and it's super clean and streamlined, right? So I don't have to worry about stuff slipping through the cracks. Me not literally all I have to do is once I get that notification, then I can set up a rule to forward that to my producers to then reach out, let them know that they're working it, and then they're going to call them and email them, with that top proposal, blah, 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 right? So extremely powerful. That Gravity Forms, again, if you're looking for a website, you can talk to my brother, Sam Kampert. He is here in the group. When we start a new group, what is some advice to get it out there and growing? So a couple strategies for that. I'm sure some of you guys have seen me. There's a group out there called Independent Insurance Agents. It's a totally public freaking forum. Anything is like the Wild Wild West out there. Like groups like that, if you can find public groups where you're not going to get booted for posting whatever, I've definitely been able to get some. Now you got to be careful because you don't want to bring in the spam that's in the group, right? But I've been able to get a lot of good agents from that group just because it's an open group. I can just go out there and I can post, hey, join us in Syndicate. And that's kind of spammy. It's a little bit solicity, right? But it's an open group. So that definitely helps. I mean, that just put me or Syndicate out there in front of what, like 14, 15,000 people I think are in that group. It's an open group. The other thing is your personal page, right? Like I would definitely use your personal page to announce it, right? Hey, been working really hard on this, something that I'm passionate about, something that, is close to my heart, whatever, especially if you're doing a dad's group, really put something out there to get dads to like basically feel where you're coming from, if that makes sense, right? Tap into that kind of those heartstrings almost. And then the other thing though, so when you go to create a group, shoot, look, I'm just going to show you guys my screen again. Now this won't unlock right away. If it wants to load, okay. Tony. So here, like if I'm in this group, right, and say like, you know what, I want some more like life people. Or I want some more whatever, like anybody. And again, now this invite button, typically it's when you hit invite, it's going to say invite friends. Because I have whatever, I guess kind of, I don't even know what the right word would be, just like Facebook just really likes my group. They like my activity. Obviously, I'm extremely active. I'm keeping people on the site. I'm keeping them entertained. So there's just some features that groups will get, and some, like I know other people that have groups that don't have this option. Or say, hey, I want to go add more people like in Austin, Texas, right? Like I can go through and just start scrolling people who are from Austin, Texas, right? Or say I want to go in, let's say I want to get, let's say, here's the Independent Insurance Agents group, right? So if I apply that, now I've got access, even though I'm not friends with these people, I've got now access. Now I'm not going to scroll through all of it because it would be a lot, but now, and you can see a lot of them are already members because I've been mining that group, right? But I can go through and basically just start adding members from all these groups, right? So again, you can see a lot of them are already members, but like these people who aren't, I could go in and start adding them to grow the group. When you first start, you would probably not have this feature, and it would just be inviting friends. And so that kind of gets into, we don't have time for that because we're coming right up on our 45 minutes, but that's your personal page, right? So you can see, and actually I just ended that share, but if you go, I mean, I've got 5,000 friends, right? So when you're building your audience over here, that means, okay, if I do an announcement or whatever, now I've got 5,000 people that I could potentially invite to that group. It just needs to be kind of what the group is about, if that makes sense. And I hope that answered your question, because when you have friends, like when you have this many friends on your personal page, you can then invite them because you're friends with them. Once the group starts really kicking off, then you would then be able to add them from other groups and stuff like that. So I hope that answered your question. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. I've got maybe if you guys got one more question, I could probably knock that out. If not, then we will just call it wraps. I hope everybody gained some value, gained some insight from this. Again, if you're catching this on the replay or after the fact later today, make sure and put in the comment. I will still come back and we'll respond and I'll help you guys. And if we need to, and actually we may just do a second call where instead of the group stuff, we'll go into really how you do group stuff with your personal page, right? And I think they really complement each other. It's just kind of a lot to cover. And then once we start talking about Facebook algorithms, you guys probably won't get me to shut up. So, and it'll take hours. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you found some value. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for our weekly, or oh my gosh, I just effed it up too. Our Winning on Wednesday call. I appreciate you guys. I love doing these calls every single week with y'all. If you need anything, have any questions, drop them in the comments and we will be there for you guys. All right, y'all, go crush it.